Dude, how you feeling, man?
I'm good. I'm good, man. Yeah, thanks for joining. Both date successful black women in our lives.
Oh, you're Jackie's fiance,
Yeah,
and or vice versa. Me, I'm dating Mariama, but they're both very two different types of women, but they're both very successful in their careers. And one main question I always kind of get when it comes down to people asking about Mariama, how do you deal with that?
yeah,
And then I'm all like, what do you mean? How do I deal with that? It's like, yo, some beautiful, whatever, successful, make money. I'm all like, you kind of just be, and you kind of find ways to be a camaraderie to your other. You
yeah,
got to complement that. If you're thinking about all the wrong things, like, oh, well, how can I bring the limelight on me, or how can I get people to talk about me? Then it's going to end up being inorganic. When you complement each other and you have this type of this love and chemistry, you guys walk into the room, it no longer becomes like an individual thing. It becomes a merge of organic love and energy that people either
100%,
want
bro.
to be inspired by, or they're going to be threatened by. And you can't really, you can't control what people are going to be threatened by.
Yeah,
You can't
and
control any of that. The only thing you can control is what you do for yourself and in your relationship.
yeah, and let's be real. I'm gonna say it as it is. A lot of people are threatened by strong black women,
Oh,
like people
dude.
that have a voice, people that
Yes.
stand for something. Like
Yes.
a lot of guys don't have the confidence to be able to hold their own, if that makes sense.
And I think that's a large reason why a lot of black men aren't dating black women.
Yeah,
Real talk.
it's the reality, and this is what I want
Mm-hmm.
to kind of touch on today. Like the reality is, a black woman could, you know, what I mean, can raise their voice, and all of a sudden they're aggressive, and it's like,
Oh,
hey, listen,
threatening?
like, or they're threatening, and it's like, hey,
Yeah.
like, are you not strong enough to be able to handle situations? And I think it's important that we shouldn't let these little things kind of be the reasons why we completely write them off.
Right.
That's just my personal opinion.
Oh, I agree with that. I can 100% 10% agree with you on that, because the thing about that is I feel like a lot of I mean, I'm a Capricorn. I'm very like intuitive with
Yeah,
myself and my spirit, and I'm a very good reader of energy. To me, I feel like it's that, and also a lot of guys haven't been groomed enough to be able to accommodate somebody like a Jackie, or somebody like a
100%,
Mariama, or
100%.
somebody like a woman that is successful. Because let's face it, when a black woman is successful and she's making money, she is a power force in the entire world. And that
Exactly.
can be a very big threat to most guys who are undeveloped in their life.
Yeah, and
You know?
sorry to interrupt you. I think
Oh, you're good.
yeah, because another key thing is that a lot of guys want to be at the forefront. They want to be the man. They think
Yeah,
being a man in the relationship is being the main one, being the front,
man.
being. I'm like, it doesn't. You can still be a man in a relationship
Yeah.
and still add value with your woman still being at the top. For me, I'm happy to elevate my woman. I'm happy to. I
Yes.
want to support. Why? I want to see her win. I didn't come into the relationship to think, oh my God, now how do I overtake her?
Yeah.
How do I take her limelight? Like
Exactly.
if you go into something like that, that's just crazy to me
I
anyway.
agree. I think it's more admirable for a man to be able to take the back seat and let his lady be at the forefront whenever that time comes. Because if you're a man and you're consistently trying to be in the front seat of your relationship, eventually that car is going to veer off into a no zone. You have to be able, just like driving. Let's say we're talking about driving long distance. You ever
Yeah,
driven like across country or something like that, 4 to 5 hour drive, and there's a group of people in your car. Normally, what you do in that car, you drive a certain amount of time, we drive. You swap around, right? It's the
yeah,
same thing in the relationship. In the relationship, if you want a long-term relationship, you have to be able to be willing to take the back seat, let somebody else take the wheel, be able to listen and be intuitive to be able to take in whatever's coming, and not be the one where it's like, oh no, I'm the captain of the ship.
yeah,
That's going to lead to a lot of detriment, and it's
yeah.
going to just literally, the relationship will absolutely
It's too
fail.
much pride. It's prideful, and also I think it plays a role to trying to portray an image. Guys
Yeah.
want to portray an image. Oh, if a woman talks to them a certain way, or it looks like they're a bit feminine, whatever you want to call it, like being soft. Oh my God, you're letting your woman
I
talk
call
to you.
it
Listen,
I call it beta energy.
yeah, like me, I can joke around, I can have fun. Like my missus can take the mickey out of me. I could do the same back to her. We're cool. I don't need to put on a front to social media, which is fake for most parts,
Of course.
to try and prove a point. And too many people are trying to prove points.
Right.
Who you trying to prove?
Always trying to prove
Who
something,
you
man.
trying to prove a point to?
Yeah, and that's the real big thing, man. It's not when it comes down to social media in relationships. I feel like it's always a big, huge misunderstanding just
Yeah.
because you're looking at literally a point in time. That picture took 0.0000000 seconds to take. It took 1 minute to upload. That moment in time was only 0.00 seconds of that time.
Yeah.
Whatever happens the next day or prior to, that's the girth. And people only want to see what is posted on social media. But that does not necessarily mean that relationship is healthy. It does not necessarily mean it's clean. And it does not necessarily mean it's not toxic.
Yeah.
You have to understand that just because you're seeing something like Black love or this thing looks like this on this way, it doesn't mean it's the poster child of what should be celebrated. Because one, you do not know those people and you do not know what they're overcoming. Because if they don't share it, you don't know it. So you can't just go based off what's being shared.
I'm so happy you said that, bro. Because even for us, because we post a lot of our things online, I tell people say, "Oh, you don't have the perfect relationship where it goes." Like, I don't mind inspiring people, but one thing I want to make clear, and I always tell my audience is like, listen, we are not perfect. We have normal issues that normal partners get. We don't like. There's days where we're happy. There's days that we're sad. There's days where we know, hey, okay, we need to work on things. We need to communicate. And I want to make that very clear. And I never want to ever put a message out there that looks like, oh my God, we have the best relationship. I'm happy. I love my woman. But at the same time, listen, we have our flaws. We have our differences. And we work on it as a couple. This day and age, back in the days, our parents, when they had a problem, they worked on it. Now, too many people, you have one problem, oh my God, I'm done. I'm going to find someone new. And that is the problem with this generation. It's like you have a fight, you have an argument, and you're straight onto the next one. And the reason why they do that is because social media has made it easy for them. You just DM someone, access is so easy now.
Anything.
So you can move on to the next.
This person's DM. This person was already in my DM.
Yeah, exactly. I already got my next one planned anyway, so I'm good. Okay, you want to have an argument?
If you got a backup, then why are you in the car?
So... for me, it's annoying. It's frustrating when you see this happening in this world. And this is why I think it's important that we vocalize this thing and we speak about this type of thing. Social media, obviously negative people that maybe say things about your relationship or something, or say negative things about you. How'd you deal with that?
I mean, I brush it off. I mean, you're always going to get the people on social media that are going to be rooting for you or people that are going to be wanting you to fail. And that's not something that anybody can control. Whether you're a celebrity or a regular person, there's always going to be somebody on the back end that is not wishing you well and doesn't have your best interest. So I always really just kind of make sure that, I'm making my lady look right. Yeah. I'm making sure I'm not doing something stupid to make her look like, damn, like, why is she dating this dumbass? You know what I'm saying? Or even on her side as well, you always got to put yourself in the proper limelight to where it's not just you representing you. It's not just about you. It's a whole commodity. You are, it's a group. Broderick was just seen out doing this at that party. Like, where's Mariama?
Yeah.
So it's just really important to always put yourself in the best light on social media.
Bro, I just never understood people, keyboard gangsters, people that will watch your stuff and have time to just talk shit. Like, but these are the same people when they see you in real life. Oh my God, can I get a picture? I'm like,
yeah.
It's like two different energies. And it's like, bro, if you've seen something you don't like or something you don't agree with, keep it moving. It's not that deep. You don't need to. That deep. Oh yeah, we're doing your big thing next year, bro. We're gonna celebrate that. I hope
we got a plan, man. I definitely want to do something fun, but I can honestly say, you guys, I haven't had this perspective of, like, you know, with dating women and being around my girl right now. You know, my perspective of how I am as a person, it's evolved over the time of me getting to this point. My thoughts how I was when I was 21 aren't the same when they were when I was 25. You have to learn to evolve. So if there is young people in here that are, you know, trying to understand, you know, dating or even just trying to be with a woman, you have to know that it's not necessarily about getting it all right time. That's why we have ex-girlfriends. That's why we have, ex-lovers. You have to be able to know that this isn't the end all be all. You got to be able to learn and grow with your mate, and just continue to be that partner for long term, not about getting everything right. We're all going to make mistakes.
Like my missus, she's the creative person. So I know, hey, okay, she may need help in this area. This is where I'm going to fill the void. And that's what you should always look for in a relationship. You don't think, oh my God, how do I complete takeover? You think, okay, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And what can you do together to grow it and build an empire?
It's a collaborative effort. It's a team. Like Mariama is so amazing at computers. Yeah. She's great. Like she's helped with so much stuff that I didn't even know about. But the thing about it is, we know where I made my mistake, Dennis. What? As a guy, and I could say this, I was afraid to ask my lady for help.
Funny enough, I went through the same thing, and I kind of still do the same thing, if I'm being honest. As in, like, if I don't like Asamoah, like one thing that I do, I don't like Asamoah missus to like promote things for me, do any of that stuff. I kind of just want to do things on my own back. Right. And even though I know she will be there and she supports me 100%. Me personally, I guess this is me being a guy thing. I guess this is being a guy. I'm like, no, I'm going to do this myself. I want to take responsibility. Even though I know you've got my back and you can help, I'm going to take responsibility and do this.
And I feel like that's sometimes it's normal guy nature because, as our lady, I always like to cater to Mariama's needs. Whenever she needs something, I'm quick to jump up and do it, whatever it is. But as a guy with myself, I'm always like, okay, like, I gotta give her a break. I want to just, I'll work it out myself. But if I'm not willing to let my lady be in that captain seat for a second and drive wherever we're trying to work out home, if I can't be humble enough and let go of that, then she's not going to be able to do what she knows. And then therefore that's dehumanizing. That's decreasing her strengths. Yeah, that she might have for the relationship or for whatever. So that was a big learning curve for me. And she came to me and she was like, "Yo, B, you can always ask me for help."
What would you think some of the other key things you've done in the relationship to kind of, help grow and advice to guys, like just relationship advice, some of the things that you should do? Like obviously communication is a big thing. Yeah. Me personally, one of the key things that has helped me to grow in my relationship is to understand different perspectives. Like Jackie may see something in a certain way, I may see something in a certain way, but it's important as a person that, hey, even though I may not agree, it's important that you put yourself in the person's shoes, because she may be angry about something and I'm like, that's not that deep to me. But I've had to learn that, hey, as you said, they're in a different me personally, Jackie's in a different world, and like she has to deal with millions of views and opinions, and it's so hard. Whereas for me, I'm like, oh, babies, you can shrug this negative comment off. And before I thought, okay, you can just forget about it. But it's not easy, and it's just understanding things like that.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you on that. For mine, what's helped me grow is understanding that every feeling is valid. Because I had a long history in my past relationships of saying, if it's not deep to me, then it ain't that deep. Yeah. But I cut that out and I say, you know what? If you care about it and you think that it is something that needs to be addressed, talked about, or fixed, then I need to make sure that is of my priority as well. Yeah. So I think it's very important to learn your mate and learn what is happening and what they do and don't like, and be open to fixing those things, even though they might be not that deep to you. It could be something as little as like, hey, I don't like shoes on in the house. Well, shit, I'm running in the house. I got to take a piss, whatever the case may be. I got like, if your lady is saying, hey, please, just this one thing, don't do this. You have to be able to understand that that's important to them, and they need, and you need to fix that in that relationship to make sure that is good, so growth can be promoted. So I think that was a big growth learning lesson for me, because I used to be like, nah, fuck this, like, you tripping. It ain't that deep. Nah, it is that deep.
Look at Jackie's not serious. You see Jackie's coming. She's not
Jackie's
serious.
Crazy.
Everyone ignore her. In fact, let's talk about the things
what?
I find annoying. Let's talk about the things I find annoying about Jackie. No, Jackie, this is all positivity.
It's all positive, man. It's all positive. Oh man.
Yeah.
But,
What else? What else should we touch on?
dude, honestly, I really kind of, you know, we've been talking
Oh,
about
she's trying to
love,
come into my. Look at her.
Oh, damn it.
God, she can't even. I can't even be left alone for a few minutes without being bothered.
My door's locked.
Everybody like, bro, guys can never be left. When we're having fun, our girls love to disturb us. When they're having their fun, we leave them to it. We don't bother them. But when we're having our fun and having our own conversations, they love to interrupt all the time.
Always. It's like, always, anytime.
Uh-oh.
I thought I locked the door. Mariama just went, she's like, no, it's not. She's like, I'm gonna pull up on you.
It's actually crazy. Like, we can't enjoy ourselves without them having a comment.
Yeah.
And then when it's so crazy, the one time you ask her, babes, what's funny? They're like, well, it's none of your business. I'm like, okay then. Okay then. I'll just ask them a simple question.
I was just inquiring.
Yeah. I'm just trying to show some interest.
But outside of talking about the importance of treating your lady right, and obviously, you know, we already touched on being an asset to your lady when she's very successful and very you know, not even just, and honestly, guys, when we're talking about this perspective, it's not necessarily about your lady being famous or known. It's just literally about when you have an alpha woman in your life and understanding that that woman is on her job, she's doing her thing, and you just have to kind of be there. That is one of the most important things to understand when you can identify that and not being threatened by it. Because at the end of the day, if your lady does not need you, that is good. I don't want my girl to need I do not want you to need me.
It should be a bonus. It should be a bonus.
It's a bonus, man. It's a bonus to have a lady that's actually, that you want. You don't want to, I mean, I can't speak for everybody. I don't want to have a girl that was like, yo, I got to take care of you, I ain't got time. No, you're on your stuff. I can always cover the bill. We're not talking about money. You know, whatever in terms of housing and stuff like that. It ain't even about that. It's more so just about being a proper asset to your lady when it comes down to being supportive and being somebody that they can always run to, lean on if the time comes and the time being. But you can't be that person that's like, oh, I want you to quit your job. I want to do this. I want to do that. That's not being a man. That's being selfish.
Amen, bro. Speak.
I'm just saying, it's selfish. It's selfish if you want some. If you can't allow your lady to grow and allow them to give them the space to lift their wings and fly and be successful in the world, then you're being toxic. I'm sorry, you're being absolutely toxic if you can't handle successful, not even successful black woman,
successful anybody. Yeah, it's real.
So that's just how I see it.
Exactly. Let's look at the questions, bro. Do you know how to bring up the questions? Let me bring up one of the questions.
You're the one. It's your shit, man. I can't.
Oh yeah. Let me click on it. So the first question is from Michelle, one of my people. So, how do you deal with your high-profile partners getting lots of attention from the opposite sex? Good question.
I
don't care.
I love it. I don't give a fuck.
I really
actually,
like good.
You know what? When Mariama goes out with her homegirls, I'm like, yes, put
yes.
on. I'm like, no, that ain't hot.
Listen, I trust them. I want her to get attention. I don't care. I'm not threatened one little bit. I actually encourage Jackie to go out so often. She doesn't like going. I'm like, please go. Let me.
I'm throwing you a fist bump for that,
bro. I'm like, why are you in the house? Please go out.
Jackie said nobody's checking for me. That's bullshit. Dude, I agree with you. I absolutely enjoy it. I love it because at the end of the day, I can't be biased and say that women don't approach me when I'm with Mariama. You know, so you have to understand.
But that's a good question. How do you deal with that? Like, you're out, and obviously a woman comes to you giggling, all friendly, and like, what do you do? And he's like, and your woman's not there. She's in the same room as you, but she's not around. And a fan of yours or a girl that likes, she just runs. Oh my God, Broderick!
Do you want to?
Oh my God!
Do you want me to give you a funny story real quick?
Yeah, I
want to hear a story.
I want a story. Go on,
okay, here's a story, and this is very recent, by the way. Me and Mariama were in New York not too long ago, and we were just hanging out. We went up to this rooftop. There's this like rooftop party that one of her friends had at this good hotel, and it was really, really fun. It got really packed and everything. So Mariama's I'm walking Mariama to the bathroom, and you know when girls go to the bathroom, it's a long line, right? Mariama gets to like, you know, towards the bathroom, and she's over here chatting it up with other ladies that are also in the bathroom as well. When Mariama gets to like a little bit of the front, this little white girl runs up, and she's like, hey. And she's like, so, like, you come around here often? Can I get your number? And then, but then here's what gets crazy. Then the girl, you know when women touch your arm, right? The girl, like, touched my arm, and she slid it down. And I'm all like, madam, my girlfriend is right there. She looked back, and she was like, but Mariama is so used to that. She's so used to that she was all like, she was talking to the other girls that she did not know, and she was like, watch this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she was like, it was just really funny. But I say that to say it's two sides to everything.
Yeah.
There's always going to be one side experiencing something, and there's always going to be other side experiencing something. So if I can't handle a guy coming at Mariama,
yeah, and
you know, like doing whatever he does, I have to trust my lady enough to know that, hey, she's got it. I don't have to come over here and be all macho Negro and fucking like, you know.
The only time, that's the thing. The only time you need to step in is they do anything disrespectful, try and touch her in any disrespectful way. That's the only time I step in. But in most cases, if they're going to talk to her, I don't care. Let them talk to them, because I know Jackie's going to shut it down. Yeah. As she always does. But, I don't need to get aggressive.
Miriam was like, I waved at her.
I waved. Like, if a girl's chatting to you, and obviously, we're just friendly people. You're just having a normal conversation.
Yeah.
Like, and then you realize as you're having a conversation that, you know what, maybe they like you. How do you get out of that situation without it being awkward? And they're like, can I get your number?
Dude, Miriam has called me out this on too many times. She's like, you too nice to these hoes. You too nice to these women. All you want to do is make them laugh. I don't give a fuck.
But you're not trying to make them laugh. You're just having this is how you talk to them.
I'm honestly, because with me being me, I don't want people to think like, oh, this guy's being an asshole. And Miriam,
that's the thing, yeah.
Be an asshole. It's like, nah, fuck that. Say hi, Miriam.
No.
This is the thing. I'm just having friendly chat and not. But obviously, for me, when it gets awkward, that's when when I get inclined, I'm like, yeah. So they'll be like, oh, this is how I like. For example, they may say, oh, let's go and do some revision. Like, for example, I was in my real estate class. Someone may be like, oh, let's go for dinner somewhere to do some revision. I'll be like, oh, I've got food at home. My missus just cooked to kind of escape. I just kind of but at the same time, I don't want to be awkward with the person. Lala's got a question.
Lala said, has there ever been a repetitive issue y'all had? How do y'all fix it? Oh, go ahead.
Like, so I had this issue. Well, not issue, but one of the things that Jackie didn't like that I used to do, and I couldn't help myself, but it was frustrating for her, is that she would bring a matter to me, like a situation that's happening in her industry, in her world, and then I would obviously do what Denis does. I look at it and give my real views. And to be honest, I wouldn't even think about how I'm kind of saying it, whether or not I agree with her or disagree. Because one thing about I keep it real with Jackie. She knows that. Like, even though I love the woman, like, she brings an issue to me, or she brings a matter that she's had with her friend or whoever it may be, and I think she's wrong, I'm going to tell her she's wrong. I'm not there to just, feed her lies and tell her, oh my God, you are right, babes. No. But at the same time, what happened in the past is that every time she brings things to me, I'll be like, babes, this is how you should have dealt with it, rather than seeing why she felt away. So maybe understanding her feelings first before I quickly give suggestions. So I had to learn to not quickly just jump at her and be like, babes, well, you could have done this to have improved the matter. It could be, okay, I understand your feelings, babes. I understand why, obviously, you're upset about this. And be a bit more considerate and mindful about her feelings before I offer solutions. So that's something that I've had to work on, because that used to be like a common theme.
Dude, that's honestly, I gotta applaud you on that, because that's very profound. But it also takes a special type of man to be able to do that and understand that, because there's a lot of guys that don't necessarily see that within themselves, and they're not able to listen and dissect that information and what your lady's saying. So I gotta applaud you on that. I would say on my side, when it comes down to Lala's question, what problems have we had? I always had a very big problem with cutting Mariama off when she was feeling something. It's like when I think I've gotten enough information, or I've gotten enough, like what she's trying to say. Okay, I got your solution. Sometimes it's not even. It's like I'm not asking for a solution. I'm just venting, Negro. Just listen. Just listen.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
had a
That's
problem with always like cutting it short and not letting my partner vent everything out and get everything out that she was trying to say. And the way I fixed that was by simply just acknowledging the problem and cutting myself off from doing it. Or if I did it, I would go say, hey, again, I want to let you know I'm working on it. Reassurance is always keen in a relationship, especially when you're working on something. You always have to say, hey, if you make a mistake, there's always going to be mistakes. Like if there's a sock on the floor and they don't like socks on the floor, you left your sock on the floor again. Damn it, my bad. You know what? I'm working on it. I apologize. I hear you. Let me do it. Sometimes I had a problem. Like my new problem was I'm coming in and out the house. Sometimes I forget to lock the door. So it's like, yo, you didn't lock the door. You the man of the house. You want to fight a nigga if you come in the house? I'm like, nah, man, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain things that you have to continuously reassure your partner with, that you are working on them if you do make the mistake. So that's how I fixed those problems.
Yeah.
Were you intentional about looking for a partner before you met your ladies, or was it beautiful coincidence?
Good question.
That's a very good question.
Very good question. I wasn't intentional. I was minding my business, and then Jackie DM'd me out of the blue, and then I was like, you know what? Okay, she's interested in me.
Dude, mutual, man.
No,
dude,
I'm joking.
That's so mutual.
The truth is that, what's it called? No, it was not intentional. I didn't plan it. I was on holiday, just minding my business, enjoying myself. But in life, you bump into people. Obviously, we built a friendship, like literally built a friendship, and it just, like, I didn't even, I'll be honest with you, because initially when me and Jackie were speaking, I was living in London. I didn't think anything could come of it, because I was thinking, I'm not doing international relationship. I was like, I'm not doing that shit. That was my first reaction. Who's doing international relationships? I ain't doing that. So for me,
I ain't doing that shit. I ain't doing that.
yeah. So for me, we just for months and months came, even a year, in fact, years went by where we were just talking as friends. And then it got to a stage where I was like, you know what? And every time we kept on meeting each other, like in different holiday destinations, I just realized, you know what? This girl's good. And like, I don't want to regret this and look back and think, okay, I didn't give it a go. So for me, I had to step up and, you know what I mean, make a jump, and decided to come to LA initially just for holiday, just to see how it went. And then just on coming, I was like, shit, she's the real deal. And then I decided to like just pack my bags and make that big move.
That's so lit, brother. Mine is a little more interesting. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Go on, I'm ready for this.
I was not. I gotta take a sip of this. I was not at all looking for a relationship. But when I tell you, I shot my shot. We would go places. Me and Marianne, we would go places. And somebody like, yo, like, are you peeping what's going on? Like, he's going at it. And Marianne would be like, oh, no, he's just hanging out. And I'd be in the corner like, I was shooting my shot. I ain't looking for something, but you what I like. I ain't even hungry, but you looking like a nice little cheeseburger right now. What's good? So basically, she started catching on, and then we ended up, you know, where we are now. But I wasn't looking for a relationship. But if I see something that I like and see something that I feel is sufficient to, you know, my life and and you see they have your best interests. Miriam showed me early on that she had my best interest, so I was like, oh yeah, I'm locking this one in.
Dope.
What qualities do you find attractive in your partner that is non-physical?
Yeah. So for me, I find just her ability to, you know what I mean, stand for something. Always the belief, the willingness to, you know what I mean, help, support people, and the loving, caring that she has for her community to see people win. Like, one thing that I love, honestly, I was going to swear, but I'm not going to swear. One thing that I love
Dennis, swear, do it right now.
One of the things that I fuck about with Jackie is that, like, even though she's a public figure, she has so many lovely squads. I don't really like people calling, I don't like the word fans, you know. That's weird. I don't like the word fans. She has a squad of people that love and support her.
Yeah.
She's always, I kind of just lost my thought now. I've lost what I was going to say. No, the point I was going to make. Okay, the question is, what is the question? Bro, I just lost my trail of thought.
Dude, it's what qualities do you find? You were rambling for so long. You didn't got lost in memorizing your lady. You forgot. What qualities that are non-physical that you like about your lady?
Yeah, physical. Yeah, the unphysical. Nah, honestly, one of the things that was it. The reason why that was it. I was getting to my point. Sorry. The reason why I fuck with Jackie is that even though she's a public figure and she's got so many people that show her love, she's just a real person. Like, as in, literally, she meets my friend, my families, and she doesn't act bougie. She doesn't act like she's better than anyone. She sees everyone as the same. And I've always say, I treat someone that treats this. How you treat a CEO and how you treat a cleaner is going to show me your character. And Jackie's always been consistent.
Yeah.
And I love that.
I would say with Mariama, one thing I would say, Mariama is so family oriented. She takes care of her family.
Yeah.
And she loves her family, and she's always looking out for other people. She's always consistently seeing how she can lend a helping hand, or she's trying to find ways to build a community. And she's so spiritual. And that's one thing I really love about her. She's really spiritually fulfilled me and lifted me up in ways that I didn't know within myself. And finding a woman like that is extremely, extremely rare. So I would say in terms of non-physicalness, her spirit and her kindness and the fact that she has the best interest, and she doesn't talk shit about people. You know, she really tries to stop herself if there's something that she doesn't like about somebody, or if there's something that kind of rubs her off the wrong way, she will literally stop herself in her tracks. Like, you know what? No, I'm not going to let that energy come into my life. Maybe because she listens to Janae Aiko. I don't know. But you know, she's very she's very kind-hearted. So I would say that's my thing that I would compliment about Mariama that I find extremely admirable.
Yeah. What personality traits in a woman that turns you off? You go first, bro.
Oh man, I stand gossiping women. Like, that stuff is so toxic.
Yeah.
So toxic, man. Like, if you're talking about this person, that person, I can only imagine what you're talking about, like, say, about me or somebody else. And that just goes if I've met you for the first time or anything. I don't like people who always have something negative to say. It wasn't even warranted. You could, like, literally go up to somebody and be like, hey, what's up, man? Good. How you doing? Did you see so-and-so's post?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like, what? Oh. I just asked how your day was. I don't even know who this person is. I don't even follow this person. How do you approach your significant other who has a lot of baggage?
But our significant others don't have a lot of baggage. But for someone that has
bags, but not baggage.
Yeah. But what advice would we give? What advice would I give to someone? I would say, obviously, be patient. It all depends on your current situation, how old you are, like your experience. Like, I don't think, like, when you're in the early stages of a relationship that you find something you don't like about someone, you completely just write them off. I think there's a lot of people that go into something with expectations. That's the number one thing. Like, even when I met Jackie, there was bad habits that I had. There was bad habits that she had. Till this day, there's bad habits that she's learned to accept. Like, that's another good point. Like Jackie has a bad habit when it comes to, for example, leaving the bin open. The bin open. She always leaves the bin open. And before, I used to get angry all the time. I'm like, babe, can you not just close the bin? It didn't make any sense to me. I'm like, how can you possibly put food in the bin and somehow leave the bin open? How does that even add up? It just didn't add up to me.
Dennis,
it didn't make any sense.
Can I tell the story about Essence Fest, please?
Oh, God.
It is the funniest thing ever. I'm sorry. I always say this last year.
Sorry to interrupt. The bin is the trash can, by the way. People are asking. The bin is the trash can. The trash can.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about, like, the food containers, but thanks for clarifying. Me and Dennis were at this party, and, you know, we're just chopping it up, drinking and stuff. We got out of, we left the party, and in New Orleans, there's these, like, fish, you know, these little corner fish things or whatever. And Dennis was all like, "Oh my God, bro. I'm so hungry. I can't even think. Oh my God." I'm like, "No, don't worry, Dennis. I got you, bro. I'm gonna get some fish. We gonna grab, blah, blah, blah." So we go outside. I'm with my manager, my friend Lyris, and a few other people. You know, I'm putting in the order. I'm like, "Hey, Dennis, what do you want?" And Dennis is on the phone. He's like, "Oh, Jackie, thank God you answered. Please, can you order room service and get me a cheeseburger? Please, Jackie, I'm begging you. Please, please." And I was like, "Dennis, I'm trying to order you some fish," but Dennis was too bougie to accept my fish offering. And I was borderline offended, but I was like, "You know what? I'm lit. I'm going to let go and let God."
But bro, that was a crazy night. Jackie came through for me.
It.
That was, hey, by the way, anyone that hasn't been to the Essence Festival, you need to go. Obviously, once this whole
oh man, I hope we can get
is over,
year, or at least
Essence,
sometime
whenever, go to Essence. We're gonna be there, so yeah, make sure you come and party with us. But going back to the bad habits, I would like to just clarify what the point I was trying to make. I was going to conclude by saying, even though Jackie had these bad habits, in a relationship, sometimes there's going to be things that you do not like. It doesn't mean you cry like a baby. I had to learn to say, you know what? It only takes me 5 seconds just to close it. Do I just continue to complain about this bad habit that she has, or would I just deal with it and just close it myself? Just the way that she's had to deal with my bad habits. So it's a two-way thing. I've got bad habits, such as maybe when I'm brushing my hair, it goes on the floor. She picks up and cleans after me. So she's learned to just deal with it and not complain about it. So that's very important, people. Just remember that.
Do you ever feel intimidated by your lady's status?
Yeah. So for me, like, this is one question that people ask me, and no, like, I want my woman to continue to win. I want to see her grow. I want to be able to aid her and help her in any way I can to see her get to the top. Yep. And for me, no, I don't think, oh my God, my woman's getting all the attention. My woman's getting all the accolades. Oh, to be honest, I see it as a motivation. Just with my friends and family, what pushes me is seeing people around me win. And for me, I love it. So for me, I do not find her status intimidating. I'm actually proud of her, and I can't wait to see her even get to highlight some of the plans that we've got. Like, but for me, I like working in the background. Like, so we've got a few things that I can't really talk about, but we're working on a few things. And for me, just adding value in the background and seeing her win and seeing her get to the top is just amazing.
Ditto, man. You hit a nail on the head. I want to see my lady. I want to status grow. Like, you know, if I could, I would just throw into the stars if I could. But, you know, I agree with you, man. It's really it's very, very rewarding to see your lady either, you know, coming up on a big deal or doing something major, stuff like that. Like I pray for that every day for her, because they deserve it, and they are truly remarkable enough to be able to not only maintain and handle that kind of status, but they're also just really, really good people. And you don't want to see good things happen to good people. So I agree with you, bro. You gotta want that to happen.
Amen. Someone asked the question, how do we deal with temptation in LA? In LA.
Dude.
Guys, stay home. Don't go out.
Unfortunately for me, like, you know, we're in the industry where where there's always a lot of people around, and, you know, we're in a very beautiful business. But to me, when you find when you're content with what you have, and you see that what you have is love and it's genuine, you don't really want anything else. So I don't really get tempted by anything out here, because I'm like, oh shit, like I got the golden child at home. Like, why am I gonna, like why it's like somebody inviting you over to go to, like, I don't know, STK, but then this person's offering McDonald's. You think I'm gonna leave STK to go to McDonald's?
Amen. Say that again. I haven't thought of anyone outside of Jackie. So for me, even if someone's trying to show love or trying to put pressure on me or try send me DMs or stuff, for me, I see that, I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, sometimes I may think, oh yeah, I've still got it. People still think I'm attractive. Like, you know what I mean? I might joke around and I might joke around with Jackie. I might even show her the DM. I'm like, babes, look at this. This looks very interesting.
You see this shit?
Look,
you see
babe.
Look what kind of man I am. Don't you see me showing you what I be dealing with?
Yeah.
You gotta hone into that, lady.
Exactly. And I would actually sometimes just tease Jackie and be like, oh, babes, I went out. There was 5 girls that, you know what I mean, approached me, but I told them, babes, that I'm happily married and I have no more interest. So I joke around and just make a joke out of it. I just never take it too seriously.
My main thing I told Mariama, I look her in the eye and I just be like, use your common sense. I'm fucking, I get popped in the head if I did that.
Bro.
Nah, I just be like, I was like, babe, you know, I was bad at that at first. I wasn't sharing a lot of like things that were happening to me. So I would like be skeptical, like, you know, because sometimes I'd be used to it, but I learned that it's better for them to know than for them not to know. Because if they find out in a different way.
I know, see, that's a whole, okay, that's another question. Like, guys, if you get so many DMs like me, and am I supposed to tell my girl that I'm getting DMs every day? It gets a bit boring after a while. Like, I'm gonna just ignore it, and she trusts me that I'm not gonna respond to it.
If you want to see them, read them. Shit, respond to
them.
Yeah,
go for it. Jackie has access to my phone. It's not like I withhold my phone to Jackie. She has access to my phone, and I've got nothing to hide. But at the same time, I'll be honest with you. Unless it gets scary, there was one time a girl. So this is story time. There was one time on Snapchat, when I used to be on Snapchat, random person, don't know who she is, kept on sending me videos of herself, and I ignored it, kept on ignoring it. And then I blocked her because it was getting crazy. I'm like, she's moving very mad. Like, normally someone may send one and keep it moving, but she was sending it every day like it was Christmas. And I was kind of confused. So I blocked her, and then she moved over to Instagram. And I'm like, wait, isn't this the same person? And she's like, messaging me again. Then she went into my comments. And I'm like, this is getting a bit too much.
Persistent.
This is getting a bit too scary. So I was like, babes, I've got something to tell you. I was like, babes, do you know who this person is? She keeps messaging me. This might be your friend. I don't know, but I just want you to see this. So I showed it to her just because it could come across a bit weird if, like, I have messages here, in all these different platforms. And even though I'm innocent and didn't do anything, sometimes you got to save yourself.
The type of shit that you deal with, man.
Someone asks, do we prefer not to be greeted in public? Me personally, I would rather someone come up and say hi. Yeah, because rather than hiding in a corner, taking pictures, taking videos, then sending it to Jackie, what's that going to do? What is that going to do? Bro, I went to a wedding. I
saw your man out in the street.
I went to a wedding in London last year, and girls were DMing Jackie saying, oh yeah, your man's at my friend's wedding. I'm like, what's that going to do? I don't get it. I've just never understood that. Like,
imagine Jackie getting a DM like, you won't believe what just happened. And then Jackie's like, what happened? And then the girl's all like, I was walking in the parking lot, and I saw Denis get out of his car, close the door, and forget to lock it. Girl, check that. Check that at the door.
Bro, do you know what's so crazy, yeah? I have no freedom. There's no space. There was one time at story time. It was in New York. Jackie wanted me to get her some kombucha, which is her favorite kombucha. So I went to Target to try and find some kombucha, and I was looking around the store, couldn't find it. Basically, I go back to the hotel, tell Jackie, oh yeah, I couldn't find your kombucha. I couldn't find it, because she likes a specific brand. So she's like, oh, don't worry about it. But 5 minutes later, I go on Twitter, and Jackie shows me someone that's tweeting me and her saying, hey, I saw your boyfriend in the store looking for kombucha. Tend to come back, he didn't look in the right place. I'm like, what the heck? Like, how did she even know I was looking for kombucha? And like, I was confused. I was rattled. Rattled.
Have you ever had somebody like, hey, I have a gift for Jackie. Can you give it to her?
Oh no! All the time.
Imagine that.
All the time.
Imagine a fan walking up to you like,
all the time. Like, no, that's another thing. Like, I've made it a rule, and even my friends know this. No, if anyone, because obviously I get it. Look, Jackie is great at what she does. I get it that, listen, if you've got a product that you think will be of value to her, I get it. Like, I want the same thing. I would want to give it to Jackie's hands so she can talk about it. But one rule that I've made when I go into a relationship with her is that I'm not asking anyone. I'm not asking her for no favor. I don't even ask her for things. So I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to ask her to do things for other people. So me personally, I tell people, go reach out to her. I will give people the email address, or I will, you know what I mean, give them advice. But I'm not going to do the work for you, just because I think it's wrong, and I don't want to feel like I'm always having to ask her, oh, can you do this favor for someone? I don't want to pick one person, so I've just decided not to do it for anyone.